The Battle of the Baddest has just concluded, and we're here to break down what we just saw. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the StayWeighedIn podcast. I'm joined by my man Ray. How you doing?
Listen, man, unfortunately, we didn't get flown out to Saudi Arabia like the other legends, but here in the UK, it's cold, it's not sunny. We're not by the dunes, but yeah, what about yourself?
Do you know what? I'm with you. I didn't think about that. We didn't get flown out. We should have been. We should have been.
And next time we'll speak to his highness. So yeah.
But yeah, with that being said, we're here to break down everything that we saw yesterday night, early morning, day, whatever you want to call it, in Saudi Arabia.
Hopefully
And
it's
that
good.
was, it's a tricky one,
It's,
but it
it's,
was.
it's earlier than usual boxing. So for me, I'll call that. Yeah, we'll call it yesterday. It started from yesterday. From Wardley Adelaide, it started early.
Yeah, and I hear that. But let's go straight into it. Tyson Fury survives Francis Ngannou, wins on split decision. And the first thing I'm going to say to you before we break down everything is, what was your thoughts of the fight itself?
That is the perfect way to say he survived, because I feel like Fury didn't take this serious, but that doesn't take away from the fact that against most guys that Fury hasn't taken it as serious against, he still managed to prevail. And this time, I think he was in for a shock where it was just like Ngannou was a bit more prepared than he expected. And boy, did he get caught off guard. And in shape, Ngannou, who I think because of other previous MMA fighters' attempt at boxing, I think he just felt like, oh, you're going to come in with the same old, something I've not seen before. And Ngannou showed that he was disciplined. He came in with a game plan, and I'm not trying to be funny. Listen, man. Ngannou is a man on a mission who, at the beginning of the year, there's a lot of people that owe that man apologies. First for thinking he dropped the bag. First for all the Dana White bootlickers that kept on getting onto him saying, Raya, Dana said, oh, you're away from the UFC. Nothing's going to happen with you. There's no money out there. This, that, and a third. My man got the bag. Then he got the fight against Fury, and everyone's just like, you're just going to get walked over. And then he dropped the heavyweight champion of the world, which in itself, I remember me and my boys were discussing, like, what's the victory for Francis? And I said, if he hits me with a solid body shot and drops him, that's enough of a victory. He hit him with a left hook and dropped him. And this is a guy that's known to be evasive. That in itself, victory. And the fact that he went on to then go in a tightly contested fight, wow.
I was going to say the shot itself. Let's just talk about it. We've said it a few times here. When fighters get hit in certain spots, your equilibrium just gets rattled. And Tyson kind of got hit exactly that onto the temple. And as elusive as Tyson Fury is, this is a heavyweight getting hit by another heavyweight. And Francis Ngannou has that power. Talk to me about what that would have done for Tyson Fury, because after that, you saw a different Tyson Fury where he was just all over the place and rattled.
I think, yeah, when it shakes your equilibrium, I think obviously we're giving a little slack to Tyson Fury for getting caught in the first place. But getting hit on the equilibrium is like your whole body gets shook up, like you're just out of it. Your bearings ain't quite there. But the fact that you got caught in the first place as someone who's known to be evasive is big. And this was a fight that everyone just saw as a sparring warm-up for Usyk. And but Francis warned him. He said, do not look past me. I'm telling you this now. Do not book that Usyk fight before me. And a lot of us owe Francis an apology because we all thought he was going in there to collect that check. And man said, no, I'm going in there to get a win. And by God, he went for it. And if it wasn't for the powers that be, and I even said this, I said the powers that be will not allow this to even, like, a lot of people said they had Francis winning. And I was just like, if you ever think the powers that be are going to give Fury this victory, Francis this victory, you're absolutely mad.
So, I mean, I'm with you on this. The thing I will say is because of how aggressive Francis looked, and I think in certain rounds, whereas Fury would win the rounds in some spots, Francis would dominate the rounds he wins. Like round 8, he would come. He had Fury rocked again in round 8. What was your thoughts on the scorecards then? Because I think you can give I think Judge 1 and Judge 3, I'm happy with what they're doing. Give it to Fury, give it tight, give it to Ngannou, give it tight. There was one that I believe was 96, 93.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how you get to that conclusion anyway.
The conspiracy theorist in me and a lot of the agenda on the internet, which I'm going to run with, because the agenda of the facts right now is word on road. Dana White was hating. He made a call and said, "Yo, Habibi." He said, "You know that 50K bonus we normally give to fighters. Let me slip that to you real quick." And then, boy, 96, 93, because we all saw what we saw. And if it was the other way around, what was it, 94, 95, 94, something like that?
Yeah.
If the second one was that close, then fair enough. But 96, 93 was the most blatant. The big money fight in Usyk and Fury cannot get dropped. Do not mess this up. And whether it was Frank Warren, whether it was Dana White, someone slipped that guy some money and said, "Yo, this isn't happening." And fair enough.
Yeah, I was going to say, carry on, sorry, then I'll just go to the next
one. No, go on.
I was just going to say, you mentioned the big money fight, and the date was supposed to be set for the 23rd of December. We've now heard Frank Warren basically come out and said that's not happening, but Riyadh season is still available. I'm going to say this. Even though when this fight was made and they announced the other fight, did you first and foremost expect the main title fight to happen at the end of December? And now looking back at what Tyson's gone through, when do we expect this particular fight to happen? Because obviously this Riyadh season they've got going on ends in March. So are we still expecting this undisputed title fight to happen?
The title fight will probably happen because I also see it as the Saudis have invested a lot in that heavyweight scene, and they're on a thing of, we're getting our fight by fire, by force. We're getting this. I'm leaving it with something. So they're on a thing of, we're leaving it with something. And I think that's why Frank Warren said, okay, Riyadh season's up until March. We can give you that. So that gives enough time for Fury to get back in shape, to heal up, to also do damage control on the PR, because it's looking shaky for the Furies right now. And I'm not just talking about Tyson.
I was going to say, it's very shaky. Tommy goes through just about.
Tommy got dropped by Jake Paul, and you scraped through KSI. Ironically, was that in Saudi as well or UAE? That was in the Middle East.
Yeah, the Jake one was
the Jake Paul one. So you scraped through Jake Paul. Actually, you didn't really scrape through. He beat Jake Paul, but he still got dropped, which wasn't a good sight. Then you scrape through KSI, and then your big bro, who's meant to be the heavyweight champion of the world, gets dropped by Ngannou and scrapes through. Listen, man, I think what Fury's learning in this fight is the constant damage you do to your body, or the lifestyle that you live outside of boxing, when he puts on all the extra weight and he's not the most healthiest. It catches up to you. It will catch up to you, and especially in the heavyweight division, one punch can end it all. And I feel like there's blood in the water now, and the sharks are around. Usyk's probably looking at this thinking, I don't care if you're in your best shape, you're cooked when I see you. And I think with the Furies, it's just like a wake-up call. And listen, they might want to make that AJ fight now. They might just want to make the AJ fight.
2024, look, for Fury, I'll say this. When he came into this fight, Fury jumps around, I'm the fat man, I'm a fat man, I don't work out, whatever. In this fight, he did look a bit more out of shape. Like the love handles were showing a bit more.
Oh, yeah. I know for a fact he didn't take it. I know he probably fought another MMA guy. You don't know how to box, this, that, and the third. But I think people also forget, or they may not know, Francis' story is he actually wanted to become a boxer first. And I think because of the lot less politics in MMA, that's why he went the MMA route. It wasn't out of like inefficiencies in boxing. So it's not like he didn't have any experience with boxing. And the fact that he wasn't taking it lightly, the fact that he was like working with, I think his striking coach anyway has coached Dewey Cooper, if I'm correct, has coached world champions in boxing before, or at least high-level boxing. So I think people underestimate the fact that he's not coming fresh off like, just like, oh, I'm just gonna decide to box. It's like, no, he's he's been wanting to do it, and he applied himself properly. He took his time, and I couldn't be any happier for Francis Ngannou, and I wish him all the best at PFL, and I hope that he can get all the attention he can to get to PFL, and then also get a big money fight in boxing, because the way I see it, listen, man, bun Wilder and AJ. If Wilder wants to play hardball, make Wilder first Ngannou, and then if Fury loses to Usyk, make Fury first AJ. Just let Fury have his big money fight with AJ.
Let's just touch on Ngannou, because I might be the party pooper in this. But I saw a lot of people instantly running to Twitter. Francis Ngannou can be X heavyweight, Y heavyweight, Z heavyweight. I'm like, don't get me wrong, Francis put on a top tier performance. But as I said, let's pump the brakes just a little bit in my eyes. I think Francis can be competitive against some guys, but I also don't think some of these guys will take it as lackluster.
I feel like Francis could probably beat top 15 heavyweights, just because in general, heavyweights, it's just heavyweight boxing is so like this maniacal that you never know. Because even look at someone like Deontay Wilder, who started boxing so late, and the success he's had at heavyweight. So what is to say that Francis can't apply himself and be top 15, top 5? I don't know. Like when you start talking about the AJs, the Wilders, even like Ruiz.
There's a skill level. There's a skill level you got to.
That's where the skill level, and people that won't underestimate Francis. That's when I'm just like, you pump the brakes. But listen, man, if they say Chisora,
if you're Ngannou, then do you push for the money is in boxing still, and because Ngannou isn't like an up and coming boxer, he's got that crossover. So he's already got the following.
Yeah,
the money that he'll be able to make compared to someone who's stepping new into boxing will be significantly more. What would you push? Would you try to push for another boxing fight in 2024 or MMA? What's your bigger sell for you?
Depending on his contract obligations, obviously PFL allowed him to take this fight, so it might just be a case of PFL saying like, listen, we need you to at least have one MMA fight because we need you to fulfill your contract, then you can do the boxing thing. And if that's the case, then yeah, do your MMA fight. I don't know who they're gonna get, but hopefully they can get a big enough name that them, because with the, you know, we need more competitors for the UFC. So if you can get more names to PFL, that would be great. And then, in all honesty, this scares me because it's a scary fight to take. But make Wilder first Ngannou, man. It's scary. It's a scary fight to take because Wilder will get bullied around, in all honesty, but he just needs one shot. And I'm scared for Ngannou, but that's the only other bigger fight that's going to get him money like that. I know Eddie Hearn tried to... I like Eddie Hearn's my guy as well. That was nasty how he tried to creep in AJ's name into there. Don't do that, Eddie, man. You're better than that. I know what he was trying to say. Like, obviously, he was just like, yeah, AJ would beat Ngannou, and I would favor AJ as well, but don't act like you want to book that now, please. It's nasty. And Eddie's my guy, but that was nasty. I saw an interview that he done, yeah, and I was just like, Eddie, don't do that. That's nasty.
Well, but let's be honest. The way Frank Warren would also get on AJ, if you gotta go tit for tat.
Yeah, it's tit for tat, yeah. But do you know what it is? With AJ, it was just like, because AJ hasn't requested a fight himself, let's not bring AJ's name into it outside of he believes AJ would beat him. To suggest they should put the AJ, because I think what Hearn was trying to suggest is giving Ngannou a rematch against Fury or letting Ngannou first AJ and let you show how it's done. And I know why he's saying that, because momentum-wise, it looks good on AJ to beat the guy that gave Fury a hard time. But I'm just like, it's nasty matchmaking, man, because it's more out of spite than interest.
And then just one final thing I want to touch on, and I think we talk about this a lot when it comes to boxing, but the production side of this one, they had 2 separate arenas. They had an opening ceremony. What more can you say when it comes to Saudi Arabia? And
this was overproduced. You know, where we do a lot of underproducing, this was over. Yeah. you know what's funny? Yeah, that you mentioned this. Obviously, it was like I don't know what the difference is. Maybe I'm being a hater. Top Rank production still look crap, even though it was technically done through Top Rank for the U. Because I've
I
seen
know what you mean.
I've seen the US content for this fight, yeah, post match, yeah, and it just looks grainy still. It just still looks like I don't know. It looks like it is 480p max, and then you see the TNT content, and it looks HD. I don't know what Top Rank are doing or what cameras they're using. I don't know. I would have thought everyone's using the same camera in the arena, but apparently not because Top Rank content still doesn't come out like HD clear. And for the life of me, Bob Arum, I beg you, invest better cameras for Top Rank, please. I'm begging you. Like, I don't know why their cameras do not come out as clear as everyone else's. If Queensbury can afford to use better cameras, Top Rank, you can afford to use better cameras. I'm sorry, it is enough. But anyway, back to the production. Yeah, it was overproduced. The whole concert thing, I get it. I know what they're trying to do, making it a whole like extravaganza, but there is such thing as like you're just doing too much. Sometimes it's just you got to know the right amount to be like, do you know who's it sounds like I'm breading him, but if he gets it right, he gets it right. You see, when Canelo faced Billy Joe Saunders or when Canelo faced Ryder in Mexico, yeah, watch that entrance again. Watch Canelo's entrance again, yeah. It's just excellent, and the production is so nice, but it's not overdone. It's the right amount of extravaganza without taking it too far. And I feel like the Saudis need someone to rein them in a bit when it comes to just, I get it. Do you know what their thing is? It's like they've got the money, so let's spend it. And I hear it. It is good, but sometimes like just because you got it, you don't need to spend it.
Do
And
you
I
know
feel
what?
like that's what that came across as.
Before we wrap up, what I think is, you know how you mentioned that particular one, Eddie catered it to the Mexican audience. The way the Saudis did it, they basically, it looked like they tried to Americanize it.
Yeah. They try to make it Super Bowl.
It's like, look, you've got a British fighter and Ngannou's Cameroon.
Cameroon, yeah.
I mean, you don't need to Americanize it. Like all the artists were either American or something of that sort. So yeah, it was like a Super Bowl halftime show, but as a pre-show kickoff. And it's like you said, the way Eddie didn't do no show, but he gave Canelo his true Mexican type of thing. If you were to do that, that would be cool. But I think
and the camera quality was amazing.
Yeah. What you're probably thinking though, just think about this though. If they do the main event, which they will do in Saudi, I don't know what the Saudi regime over there is going to be doing for a production side of things there for Usyk and Fury, but that's something that we are going to wait on. If you had to put money on it, are you expecting this fight in February, do you think?
Yeah, February, March latest. They don't want to drop the ball in terms of money, how much the Saudis will invest in this. This is a big bag, and they keep on acting like there's no money in it to do it here. So, yeah, they really should make sure that they get this fight done. And who knows, maybe the Saudis can bloody convince WBC to make Better Be than Bivol as well. I saw they were out there this weekend. They had a face of Better Be gave a look of disgust to Bivol, like, you're not even attempting to try and make this fight. And I don't know what Bivol's situation is. He's a bit of a... It's just a weird one. It's like you go from a major year of chasing this like Canelo fight, and it's kind of like, all right, cool, Canelo fight's not happening. Who you gonna face? And at this point, put him in there with Lyndon Arthur, man. Let Lyndon Arthur fight him, man. Or do the rematch with Craig Richards. If you just need a fight to tick over, give one of the Brits boys a fight because this is ridiculous. And in all honesty, it should be, you know, Boatsy facing him, but that's a whole nother. If I get onto, shout out my boy Cam, yeah. The conversation we've had about how boxers dropping the ball, that could be a whole episode in itself, but let's not get into that. But yeah, I'm just hoping that Riyadh season, what I'd love is Usyk first Fury, and if they can somehow make Better Be first Bivol, as the co-main, but I don't know if that's too much of a quick turnaround because I believe Better Beef is fighting in January. But yeah, that fight has to happen ASAP, no third.
And with that, we are going to wrap up today's episode. As always, if you enjoy the content, drop a like, share, subscribe. The world title fight may have dropped the ball on a big year of Undisputed action, but we got a month left, or 2 months left to go. Let's see what we can get in for the boxing season. We might still get Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Ben, but we're working that when it comes through it. I can see Ray shaking his head already. But as always, Ray, appreciate you jumping on. Till next time.
As always.
StayWeighedIn.
Peace.